Might as well get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well tonight. Yeah, let's get straight into it. Is the music coming through? I'm hoping the music's coming through. Yeah, it is. All right, we're going to continue with this. So we've got most of the CRUD done. It's just that when someone clicks on this, we need it to sort of connect. Now, I mean, you can reload it and it'll appear there, and yay. But that's not what we want. We want it to appear here. We also want, when someone clicks on that, for a little message to appear here. Now, I've been giving this a little bit of thought. We've got template refs, which I'm thinking is going to solve one of the problems. And as for the back end, we've got the service and all that kind of stuff. I think I've got the back end solved somewhat in my head. Whether or not it'll work depends on, seeing if it does work. All right. So we've got the get list, we've got the delete, we want the create, so it goes through. We get the data we want. We then submit the object we want. Now this is where I was getting a bit, how can I do this? And so forth. So it comes through. We then do a link serializer, but that's not going to work how we want to do it. So, good news is, I'm just going to do one of these. With the link serializer, the fields we need are the object assignment ID. We'll need the object ID. We'll need the object relation. We'll need the object title. The object status. Object type. Parent link, link relationship, and then reverse relationship. Actually, we don't need that one. So those are the fields that we require sending back. Now the good news is some of this data we already have. It also means that we don't need to write any SQL to get that data. So we could really hopefully simplify this down, and then hopefully we can use a link serializer to, to the JSON stuff. Anyway, it's ad times on Twitch at the moment, so yeah, we'll just jump into ad time. Whilst we're doing that, I am going to actually open up a shell environment. Make sure I go from NearBeach.models, import everything, because we're going to be doing a little test, and then from NearBeach. This is where I forget where our serializers are. It will be serializers, and then we want the link serializer. So we want serializers, object data. And then import the link serializer. All right, cool. We've got about 20 seconds left of the ads, and then we'll jump right back into it. And then, yeah, we just need to label where I'm getting all of this data from, which hopefully won't take too long. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yay! Welcome back, everyone. So one thing I did want to check is I want to check if we go data equals, and then we've got all of this. So object assignment ID. Let's go 1. Object ID. Also just going to go 1. We've got object title. Hello world. Oh, shoot. It's annoying. You know what? I'm just going to do it in here. Data equals, I tell you what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Oops. Actually, these have got to be something like this. So I'm just going to go a 1. I'm just going to go a 1 again. I'm just going to go hello world. I'm just going to go object status. Ooh. Oh, that's where we've got the status ID stuff coming through. I'm just going to go normal for the moment. Yeah, it's just a text field. Object type, we'll go project. Easy done. Parent link, project. Link relationship. I think relates. And false. And what I'll do, I'll jump into here. We'll go to the API version 1. Project 1 link list. There you go. In reality, I really should have just copied this. I'll just put it in. So we're going to use linked object, sub object. All right, cool. We might as well keep the same thing. Parent link is a task, and then false. All right, sweet. So that data should easily go into here now. So if we go data, there we go. We've got everything that we needed. If I go serial, trying to think of data serialized equals list serializer. I'm going to go data equals data, mini equals false. I meant link serializer, not list serializer. I'm just going to go DS. Hey. And then I go DS. Got something like that. And then if I go ds.data. Oh, hang on. Oh. What field? Object relation. don't have object relation in there. That's part of right. It's part of right only. All right, I've mucked this up. Not to be a problem. What I need it to be is link serializer, and then we just put in data like that. And there we go. So I just did something wrong. I did data equals, which is not what we want to do. We just go data. We just pass it through as in data. And here we go. Here's what the JSON would look like coming back. This is what we want. This is going to work. So I'm just going to delete this because we only did that for a test. Now, object assignment ID, that will be submit object assignment.id. That's pretty easy to do. The object ID, that will be now we've got those two passing through. Sweet. This is where we might need to look into the metadata to see how we're getting that. So at the moment, I'm just going to put a couple of question marks. Object title, couple of question marks. Object status, couple of question marks. Object type. Actually, object type, we've got that. So we should be, we've got object type and object relation. Like that. Link relation. We've got that. Easy done. And reverse relation. This is where we've got to look at this one here. So we've got some of those fields. We've got half the fields. We just now need the other half. So we definitely want the title, we definitely want the status, definitely want the ID. We need those, and we need to know if the relation is getting reversed. So, yes. Alright, I'm just going to go into the set meta object now. So this was pulled out, made its own sort of thing, just to simplify most of the code base. So in here, sorry, a bit of my beard went in my mouth then. If the self-destination equals object type, then it's meta object and so forth like that. Otherwise, object assignment meta. Otherwise, it'll be the same thing there. All right, cool. So going in here, we have single object. So single object.id, single object dot, yeah, that'll be title, and then single object dot status. Now, reverse relation. I believe this is just going to be false. We'll test this in a minute. Thing is, we don't set it here. We don't set anything in there. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut these out because they can just go in there like that. We just got to do a bit of work with that. Got to get that like that. Gonna get like that, and then hold on. I've mucked this up completely. We'll fix this up in a second. Those equal signs. Look at that. All right, so that might be it. Get rid of that. And then we just return the serializer and that fact that it works. Which means we go back over here. So if it's a success, we now get rid of this and we go serializer.data. And let's hope for the best. So we've got one in there already. Now I've just sent that off. And if we have a look and we move that to the left, we can see that, yay! I've just done relates to, easy done. Let's go is blocked by. We've got parent link blocked by. That's not right. Parent link, object relation. No, it's that. And then, yeah, link relation will be that. And then I'm just going to refresh. I'm just going to delete some of these. Just get rid of them. I'm just going to put through that one blocked by. So we've got one that's coming through. It's a meta object. Yeah, back in 2016, I went to Google. I just typed in Python web framework because I knew Python. It came up at the top. I was able to do the tutorial in 20 minutes and thought I can build this with this. So yeah, that's it. Alright, I know I'm screwing up here, and I know I'm going to have to actually... Because that parent link, if we go in here, you've got parent link, that's actually showing which is the parent object. Cheers. Thank you very much, Jen Michael. I'm going to have to come back to this because I need to actually remind myself exactly how all of this connects. But at the moment, we've got something that's coming back, which means I can now test the front end and then key this in to the front end, even though parent link is meta object, which is not what we want. And that might be a ternary sort of thing, being like, hey, if it equals this, just do the parent object. So yeah, that's not too hard to fix. And then yeah, we just got to do the reverse relation, which also might be just a simple ternary. I just need to breakpoint this, remind myself, all right, cool, we've got to actually send this back when this actually is the case, and so forth like that. I think I've just screwed up here. So yeah. But not a problem, we can fix that. But in the meantime, what I can actually do is start dealing with the front end. So getting data in there, which brings me up to template refs in VueJS. What I want to do is I want to put a ref on, so where's the child one? I want to put a ref on one of the components. Then I should be able to access some functionality inside that component. And with that little bit of information, I can pass through some bits of data and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, instead of actually putting all of this into state management and then dealing with it up there, I'm like, you know what, we can handle this locally and in a very small sort of sector. So what I want to do is I'm just gonna close all tabs. We're minimizing everything just because now I want to actually think about this. We're gonna open up, we don't want to open up NearBeach, we want to open up the source components, we want to open up the object components, linked objects. I'm gonna start with the linked object. Gonna start this high, and then in here, oh yeah, all right. Now, one thing which I discussed last time I streamed is this is getting very chunky, this particular view object in here. It's getting to the point where it might be an idea to move a lot of this into a subcomponent. Just to really simplify this down, we do have like a, if I were to do it, I'll do it at this level. And then that gives me the ability for, oh, fuck off. Excuse me, I'm telling the IDE to piss off. Sorry about that. That gives me the ability to move this down, make this a lot nicer. We can have the skeletons working up here too. Also means a lot of these functions will be moved down. I can add on a status card and I can add on an error card to handle errors. And I'm hoping with the template refs, I can then just access the data I need and just tell it, hey, listen, run this function will change this status to this, and so forth like that. So yeah, I'm hoping for that. So yeah. All right, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the cube again. So in here, we've got the relationship link. That's going to pass. Yeah, we're going to move that down. And then we've got add relationship, which is down here. What I want to do, new folder. We want to go link list. Let's sit on my mouse. Did I want to call them? Gonna rename that. It's all right. Link objects table. We're just going to do another view component down there. We're just going to call it link objects table. All right, we're just going to add that in. Sure. I'm just going to move this off to the other side. I'm just literally cutting and pasting into, oh, yeah, link objects table. Yep. All right, so I want to cut all of that. And I'm just going to paste it into there. And I'm going to let the linter do all the hard work. And that's fine how it's looking. We're not too worried about it. What we can also do is we can get rid of that condition statement and just deal with it like that. Because we can put that condition statement back up here. All right, I'm going to move that back into here. And I'm just going to go link objects table. Easy done. We're just going to cut it off like that for the moment. But we're also going to go v if is loaded. There's our condition. And we've got a v else directly after it, which will be the loading stuff which we tested the other week. Now, there's other stuff in here which will, like this update relationship, this delete object, and so forth like that, that needs to move down. What I'm going to do, I'm going to implement that. I'm just going to be cutting and pasting. Load data is actually used, so I'll cut this. I'll paste it on the other side. And I'll go define functions. Easy done. So load data. We've got add object link in here. I'm going to cut that and I'm going to put it on the other side. What that add object link is, we'll be running it from a different place. Now, before I forget, I'm going to start shuffling this out. We're going to go ref equals link objects table, like that. So we're doing something like this, and the idea being is, all right. Yeah. I know I've used this before. Yeah, I've used this before. However, I've done it like hyphenated. All right. So we're also going to do it hyphenated. There you go. Easy done. All right, going back up here, we've got the define functions. We've got the amount. We want to keep that. We are watching the object store if it's loaded because then it load in the data. We no longer have object linked model, so we're going to put that off to the right. Define ref. Just paste that in. Cool. Everything's happy with that. That's not needed. Don't know. And what do you mean by market value? As in, are people using it out there? Sure. Oh, I've got to... what's a... I'm trying to look at that. Indeed, that's one. Oops. So that's a .NET developer. They got VueJS in there as primarily technology. They've also got a bunch of other stuff. So they've got React, Angular, and VueJS covering it all there. This one's also covering all of them. But yeah, you do get places that will use Vue. I got introduced into Vue at my last job many, many years ago now. So, yeah. Alright, that doesn't have any references on this thing. So I'm just going to remove that for the moment. We've got the object stores. We'll also still probably need those object stores. I'm just also realizing that I might need to pass down the object linked list. Or I pass this isLoaded stuff down into it and it handles it separate to this here, which can be done. Just thinking, is it worth doing that? The problem is we've got the isLoaded stuff up at the top. Will it land you a job if you're fresh? Depends on the people themselves hiring. A lot of the times they will take risks with junior devs, or as you like to call it, a fresher, in the sense that they will teach you a lot of the languages and so forth like that, as long as you know a language or a framework, mainly because there's a lot of transferable knowledge from one framework or one language into another framework or language. A good example would be how for loops are done. You know about for loops, you know about functions, you'll know about classes, depending on your language. You know about classes and objects, or you might know if you're using C structs and stuff like that. So, yeah. If at the end of the day your goal was just to get a job and stuff like that, I'm going to assume you're looking up web development here. Look up web development on any job board. Doesn't matter what level. Don't care about the level. Click on it and actually read what they're actually wanting. So in here they will want what languages? Is this a web developer? I don't see. I don't see what languages they want there, but that's fine. I'll move on to the next one. Working knowledge of HTML. This one's PHP, CSS. Those aren't language. SQL. All right, so cool. Put a little tick in PHP. There's React.js, Node.js. You'll add one into those particular languages. This one has a few. You got different SQLs. You got your Python. You got your jQuery, Laravel, so PHP type of stuff. Linux, XML, REST. Yep. All right, cool. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Just go through these sites and have a look at what's hiring around you. All right. So the one problem is with the is loaded. I might keep the loaded stuff up here. That's perfectly fine. And then I can pass errors down easily. I've been thinking of how to handle the errors for this one. And Life of VueJS, welcome. Once you looked around and got an idea about the language, should we start building portfolio projects? Sure, definitely build stuff. Couple of really good reasons why. One, great learning platform to get jump off. Also, it gives you something to talk about in the interview process, because they'll ask you, did this sort of come up? And you'll be able to turn around and say, oh yeah, I had that sort of problem when I was building this particular project, and I ended up solving it, doing it this way. And so forth like that. Or if you learn a little bit more knowledge since then, you'll be like, listen, at the time, this is the way I did it. However, since then, I have learned I can also do it this way, which shows them that you're willing to learn and improve, and B, you are learning and improving. So I think still building projects is definitely key. So yeah, it has changed a lot with AI and stuff like that. So yeah. All right. I should also note, with the projects, they don't need to be big. They can be really small, simple stuff. They can be something you do in an hour, and that's perfectly fine. My recommendation is always start with the smaller, simpler projects and work your way up. Yeah. Okay, so we've got loaded data here. I'm happy with all of this. The load data goes into object list value. We can handle the, because that's a simple ref. I can handle creating this stuff up here. As for the delete object and stuff like that, I can emit it from the lower one up. That one's easy. So this one won't be async. Let's load data. Let's say create data. Great name. Perfect. Doesn't say anything about it. That's okay. Tab. And Life of VueJS. It does. It honestly does suck in 2026. Essentially, I don't know what's going to happen. I wish it was an adjustment period and everything will level out soon. Honestly, don't know. So, yeah. But I do wish you some good luck at finding a job. And also have fun making those projects. Alright, we'll have one where we want to delete data. I'm going to change this. We've got the create link, delete link. Alright. Now the create link, that will have a specific value in it. And that's where we look up here. We grab this interface. And we're like, alright, cool. We're going to go new link. And we're just going to say it's going to match that interface. Cool. Everyone should be happy. It's been a rough year finding yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not a lot of fun. My recommendation is there's some really high number, like I forget what it is. It's like 70 or 80% of all jobs people get are because they know someone and stuff like that. It's how you. It's essentially they get their foot in the door and they just have a massive advantage because of it. My recommendation is is going like Meetup. It doesn't necessarily need to be Meetup, but find out what sort of events are happening around you. It doesn't necessarily need to be exactly your language. So, for example, you might go to an AWS hangout. There is usually one in Melbourne. There we go. You can go to these meetups. And essentially you'll meet other people there and hopefully, you know, form a relationship. And hopefully if they've got something, you might get your foot in the door. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to create link. The delete link, we only need the index, I believe. Let me just check my right side of the code with the delete trash can click, relationship, object assignment ID, and index. That's going, yeah, we just need the index. So that's just a simple number. We've got to add code for all of this at the moment. That's not a problem. Alright, so going with the child object now, so we're going down one level. We know that we need this data here, the object linked list. We need the object store. Object store, easy. We can do that up here. Define stores. We're going to go const object, oops. I can't type tonight. Equals, this is where we want to use object store, and we just do that. And there we go. So that does that perfectly fine. I have to lower my expectations for my uni 1 year placement, so I now even apply to IT support roles. Fair enough. There is still a lot of transferable knowledge from an IT support role. You actually learn how to talk and deal with customers, which is a big thing in a development role, because a lot of people never learn that and they never wanted to learn that. So, yeah. All right, now object list. This is the delete object one. So we do it down here. I'm going to say we probably should admit this all the way up. So we'll go back into here. We'll just do this. We'll just paste that in like that. We'll shift like that. Now we don't have object assignment ID or anything like that, but don't worry. We're gonna grab this and we're just gonna paste it in here. Now we're calling it delete object link here. I'm going to do the same thing. Oi! I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to carry the theme up to that other method up there. So we've got this happening now. This needs to be now an async function. I'm going to hyper focus on graduate roles next year. Yes, fair enough. I've also been seeing what tech companies have been using for this year's graduate roles. Yep, good. You are planning for it. My other recommendation is to apply for as many jobs as possible. Even if it's just going through the interview process, having doing good interviews is a skill in itself. So yeah. And Prajula, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly. Is that JetBrains? Yes, it is. However, I get it for free due to NearBeach being open sourced. So yeah. That's just my disclaimer. So yeah. Alright, delete link object. We're going through all of that. Alright, cool. So yeah, the reason why I moved this back up here, more control. Up here. I'm gonna, down here, I just need to admit that up. Now, with VueJS, they like doing stuff a bit differently. Now, component emits. I know I've got to define the emits and stuff like that. Define emits, there, okay. So, define emits. And that's just an array. And then what we're going to go is delete object link. We're not worried about actually adding this anymore down here. And then what I can do is I can go, I think I've got to have const emit equals that. Emit dot, it's been way too long. Oh, it is that. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just being silly. Emit, and then they've got it in, if I have a look, they don't actually have it in focus. All right, Camcos. We'll have delete object link. And I want to pass through prop emit. I want to pass through a some variables. All right. I think I could pass it through like that. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out again. So then down here, we'll have a v on, and then we'll have something like that. Or I think I leave it like that and it passes through everything. And Fancy Pants, I'm building NearBeach, an open source project management system to help you manage your projects. So yeah, we're currently going through a massive refactor. And by massive, I mean we've ripped out a lot of the stuff and we're rewriting it. and redesigning it all at the same time. It used to be, for example, it used to be a hybrid approach, so Django and VueJS used to work together for the front end. Nowadays, it's literally just VueJS for the front end and Django handling all the auth and API. So, yeah. It's coming along well, slowly, because having to rewrite everything and so forth like that. Yeah. Now I know I need to delete that from there, and I need to paste it here. I no longer need that in here. I need those because I've got all of that. The Welk select. Actually, no, I don't have Welk select or anything. Cool, get rid of them. Now, update relationship. Well, I'm going to put this back upstairs. And then in here, we're going to go update relationship like that. Just need to delete that, and then I need to go emit, update relationship, and then we've got our args, which will just be data. Cool. Best thing is we've got all of that set up here. I just need to go down here and go v on update relationship equals update relationship. I'm happy. We need to do the create object, but that's not a problem at the moment. So yeah, I've just shuffled a bunch of stuff around. That's fine. We need to pass down the object list then. So we need to define the props. The props themselves. This will be const props. No, I don't need that at the moment. I can just go define props. And then we'll have the object link list. That is going to be type of, and this is where I've got to, it's an array of certain type of objects. So at the moment, I'm just going to go array. We will fix this up. Required equals true. And that's all we need at the moment. Now, these are all throwing up issues because it's like, hey, I don't know what this type is. We're going to fix this. And this is where I've got to go I'm just going to Google it. I'm just wondering if it's... Sorry, let me go here. Object link interface. That doesn't work. It's always interesting nowadays. A programmer stream that codes manually and does not is useful. Just stripping away the joy code. Yeah, I would say definitely would strip away the joy for me. I like to tell people that AI is a tool. It should not be used as a crutch. So, yeah. And just because I've plugged my blog multiple times, let me re-plug it. This is my current thoughts on AI. And thank you very much, James Kinohead. Thank you very much. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Welcome, welcome. Define props. Define props over data. Some number. No, that's not what we wanted. I know I've done this before. Just gonna file mask this to VueJS. It might be array as prototype. There we go. Not prop type. Sorry, prop type, not prototype. Prop type. All right. And this is where I instantly forgot the next part. All right, we've got our angle brackets and we've got our... Sorry, my brain keeps forgetting stuff at the moment. Object link interface. And then this is throwing up an issue. And you pass that through. Cool. So that now tells down here, cool, this is the shape of this object, don't panic, sweet. Alright, now we're no longer using the object store in here, so we might as well, you know, get rid of it, clean up our code a little. So we've moved stuff down here. We're emitting a lot up, which is fine. Don't worry about that. But what we also want down here now we've got a for loop here. That's all fine and dandy. I need to create 2 more special classes. Oh, I need to bring down my styling. So link objects table. If I go into here, what we've got and scroll all the way down, we've got the links object table. I'm just gonna go down here and just go cut. And I'm just gonna go down here and I'm just gonna go like that and just like that and cool. Alright. Just gonna delete that. Cool. That's all fine and dandy. This link objects table. It's because we're now going to pass things down, which is all fine and dandy. So we've got the object link list. That will be the object link list. Cool. Everyone's happy with that. Now, the other thing which I want to do, so you notice that we've got a link object info. And we've got a link object. We're going to have to create a couple more of these. Slightly down here. So they're just going to be after here. We're going to go to do add error and status. So that's going to be part of the link object stuff. I'm wondering... it should be... I'm going to see what happens if we just add them in. Alright, so we're going to have div, we're going to have class, we're going to have link object. Inside the link object, we're going to have a status. I'm just going to put a simple p tag in here, and I'm just going to write in status. I'm then also going to write one for error. I'm just going to write error. These are temporary. We want them to appear. That's fine. Ooh, unexpected. All right, cool. I've still got to fix up a few things first. So we're going in here. Link objects table has a unaccepted /. All right, medium, large. All right, those ones are fine. I don't see any other errors. Well, there's none that are jumping out at me. All right. All right. In this sort of case, sorry, I got, it's not in the CSS, right? Link object, we all finished that. Yep, we're all happy with that. Hold on. What the hell? All right, going back to this one. That is going to be before link object delete. So link object delete. When did this get pasted in? All right, not a problem. What the fuck? Excuse my French. All right. Weird. But we also... Oh, we do have a select in here. Oh, no, we don't have a select in here. Piss that off. Because, yeah, we moved it down somewhere else. Alright, I'm just going to hit refresh. Hope for the best. Missing required prop. Alright, yep. Touche. That is correct. We're just going to go up here. We're going to go object, link list. All right, so we've got the status and we've got the error down here. These are a little out there for me. So I'm going to put them in little div containers. And we're going to play around with it. So first off, we're going to go div class equals. And then like this, we've got link object. We've got link status. Cool. And I'm just going to go status div class equals link error. And we're just going to write link error. All right. It is the ad break at the moment on Twitch. I need some water, so I'm going to be right back. We'll just do this so no one's missing out on any content. Socks is here to entertain you. Have a look, sweetie. There you go. All right. Alright, I'm back. Got about 30 seconds left for the ads. Gonna give Socks a little bit more pats. She's like, yeah. Maybe a quick brush. She's like, no. No, stop it. No. 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 Brush it, but. Say no. And welcome back, everyone. Alright, so we've just fixed up that error. We've got those two classes in there, and we've got something like this, which is kind of what we want. In this sort of case, what we can do is we can always go width at 100%. That does all of that. Or we can display is going to be flex. And then justify content center, align item center. However, does it? Oh, we'll need to do that with the top. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I've just mucked that up. Let's. Alright. Now this, the link object, always have that. Alright, cool. I'm just going to move the camera over here so you guys can see Socks. And Happy, how are you going? Welcome back. How have you been? Now that has this particular one. Has padding right, yep. I'm just trying to remember where the padding top is. 1 REM. So we need 1 REM at the bottom. That's not going to be a problem. So in here, what we want is we want padding bottom 1 REM. And then what we want is font weight. It's just going to be lighter. It's not giving me the light font. Probably because I need to put this in a p tag or something like that. Yeah, that's good to hear. You get to see Socks again. Ah, there we go. She always runs back the instant I touch the camera. Look at her. She's giving you guys a good smell. She wants those treats. Yeah. All right. We want font white. Oh, I probably don't have a lighter with this font. Ew. All right. So I might need to put it in a p tag. Not a problem. We'll just do it right now. And we'll do the same thing for the error. Yeah, they're big. Not a problem. We're also going to go at the same time link object where it's part of link object. Yep. Yeah, this is, I realize. Oh, there we go. We've got to do something like this. Link status and link error. Cool. So down here, we want the width to be 100%. Easy done. We want text align center. Easy done. We want font weight. It's going to be lighter. Easy done. And if we go in here and we want font size to be 0.75 rem. We also want the padding bottom to be 1 rem. And we add in a fair amount of padding to the top of that. Where margin. Zero. All right. Cool. I'm just playing around with this. Oh, I need to actually, sorry, I need to do that margin 0. Down here. There we go, that's a lot better. James, hey streamer, what are your thoughts on Fast API and what should I lean into learning as a guy who's just going to Python? I've sadly not used Fast API, so I actually don't have any thoughts on it, sorry. My thoughts, however, are try it out. See if you like it, see how it works. There you go. It must be Aiden says that they love it. Hey Aiden, how are you? Sorry, my brain just went blank. Because I just realized you changed your name and I just clicked then. But yeah, try it out. See if you like it. I'm using the Django REST framework. If you ever use Django, feel free to try that one out. Yeah. All right, the status, we want the font size to actually be a lot smaller than that. So we actually want that one there too. There you go. So that's the status. The error is going to be slightly different. Aiden says, I use a mix of Flask, Fast API, tries many of them, yeah. Alright. So with the error, I do want to actually show that there is an error. The status isn't actually the status. Ooh. Sorry, I just got to think. It's really not called status. It's going to be called link create. There you go. Because we're creating something, and then I actually need to define the internationalization up here. So const t equals define, hold on. Oh, I have forgotten this. Oh, use. All right. There we go. And then haven't used anything yet. So they like languages for proper backend is to know many of them. If you're getting into the industry, you find out pretty quickly that there's a lot of transferable knowledge. So what you learn in one ports over to the other. I'll just do this with the board. So this is the difficulty. There's a number of languages or frameworks that you use. So the first one's always going to be hard, the second one not so hard, third one is pretty easy, and then from there on, they plateau down to just being syntax. Purposely spelled that wrong. Once you learn one programming language, yeah, it becomes super easy to switch between all of them. As for Fast API and so forth like that, that's Python. I'm picking Fast API because it's on the top of my head at the moment. And stuff like that. So this is essentially a framework that helps you set up and deploy an API. NearBeach uses Django REST framework, which is just another framework that we use to help build out the API. So yeah, it just makes life a lot easier. Oh, where was I? So going back over here, const t equals all of that. What you want to do is you want to set up the messages. All right, messages. We'll have the English ones here. This would be create. This would be please wait. Creating link, object link. All right, and then we've got our Japanese. Which, once again, I'm just going to copy and paste this straight into Google Translate and then deal with it later. Alright, so that's it. And then what I can do, I can just scroll down here and then I can just go t create. Done. So that will handle the translation for us. We'll also have to deal with the error. Alright, I can only translate error. So straight off the bat, we're going to pick a couple of H4s and we're going to go delete end, error, and then we're going to have error text down here. Now up here, what we're going to do is define refs. So const error. Did I have it as error message? Error text. All right, error text equals define ref. Oh no, it's just ref. going to be nothing at the moment. We do need to import this. Oh my god. Okay. What's the... Alt Enter. There you go. Alright, I pressed the wrong button. That was all on me. So we've got the error text. I do need to translate that error, so I'm just going to go T error. And then up here, we're just going to go error. And we're going to do something like that. We're just going to go in here. We're just going to type in error. We're just going to copy that. And we're just going to paste it like that. All right. Go back into here. So we've got error, and then we'll have the error text. I do want it looking like that, so I'm happy with that being like that. Now, what we got to do is we're going to have show error equals ref boolean. And that's going to be false. And then we're going to have show create. That's also going to be false as default. Now, this is where we're also going to start creating functionality to actually turn these on and off and so forth like that. Now that's not going to be a model. So I'm just thinking, I kind of want to do, actually, I tell you what, show error does need to happen. Show create does. But I'm calling it show create bool. Actually, no, I don't need to do any of that. I think I'm overcomplicating it. I could just have show create, and then if I'm using the template refs, I can just toggle that. That's easy. All right, we're getting rid of that. We're adding in this in here. Now, for those wondering what I'm doing, I like to go vif, show create, and then this one is going to be vif, and then error text does not equal a blank line like that. All right. So that should be fine. Then we've got the link objects. We've still got the ref here. Like that. Cool. So, we should be able to access if we're going to show the create and show the errors and all that kind of fun stuff. Up here, we've got create object link. Now, we've got this add relationship. We actually do it down here. We've also got load data down here. What the? Oh, potential object links. All right, yeah, don't worry. That is needed. You keep that one in. It's add object link. You okay with those socks? You're just smelling my hand. All right. Oh, I need to get rid of that. So I'm trying to think if I want it down here or if I want it upstream. Part of me is saying it's fine here. We just send the data upstream. We'll have an admit. We'll just send it upstream. That way we're handling this change here. Alternatively, we can move it upstream and just have an emit here, much like we have under link objects. Then I am dealing with the template refs. So over easy level. And I could get rid of those template refs and just have it dealing with data. Which could work really, really well. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like I'm going up and down constantly. The only main problem is I won't have access to these. I would have to send them upstream, which can be done, not a problem. So I'm having a think. In reality, this function is fine here as long as I send the data upstream. But at the same time, I need to contact the other data point and be like, hey, that's got to be, the create status has got to be flagged. Yeah. And also at the other time, when someone clicks on this, we've got to hide the add function. Actually, we've got to hide this whole thing. Which is probably better to do happen upstream. We can just pass the variables up. Yeah, I'm guessing let's pass the variables up. Let's handle this upstream. It's just going to be a lot easier for us to deal with. Yeah. So we've got the create object link up here already. That's perfectly fine. In here, we've got it as add object link. Really, it should be create object link. Cool. What we're going to admit up. So that's defining the internationalization. We're going to define the emits. So we're going to go constant emit equals define emits. And this will be create object link. Sweet. We do a check here. I'm still happy with that check. I'm still happy with... Oh, yeah. Oh, hey. Object barcode does that, and then... Hey! And then we got that, and then we've got the value. This information is upstream. So I'm just going to cut this out. We're going to go up. We're just going to go like this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do something like that. Now, straight off the bat, we need the object selector. Yeah, all right. So I programmed this thinking that I was going to pass through a new link from the bottom up into here, but no, we're going to do something different now. So we need the relationship model, and that's going to be a string, and we need the object selector model, and that's also going to be a string. In which case, we don't need these values anymore. We'll make sure that we pass them through as a string and not a ref, because that makes sense. So we just do that. Split object selector to get the type and ID. Yeah, that's pretty simple stuff. This will be, oops, async. So this will be async. This still happens like it does. That's all great and dandy. We go down here. We do the check. We're not going to pass anything up just yet. So what we can do is we just got escape conditions. All right, cool. And then upstream, emit. This is create object link. And then what we've got to pass through is the object selector model. Dot value. And the relationship model dot value. All right. You might wonder what I've got to do. It's because I've got the dot value there. It gets a bit confused, being like, what is this meant to be named? So I'm just going to be explicit with it here, and then it's fine. That's what I got to do. So we've just shrunk this down. We're happy with this being here like this. This is shrunk down again. Now, are we using the object store anywhere? Yes, we are. So that's perfectly fine. We'll keep that data in there. So we'll come in here. Now, the thing is, this error, text, and show create, they're no longer needed. Because we can put them as props. Oh, fuck off! Sorry, I'm getting really sick of it just selecting stuff and then it just deletes it. It's like, that's not common behavior. Happens so frequently. So error text is a type string. Default will be like that. It's not needed. The show create. You type boolean. Default is going to be false. There we go. And then we just get rid of this. And then, yeah, this will work as intended. All right. So doing that. All right, cool. We've got all of that. So now when we go into link objects up here, we can then do the error text and stuff like that up here. So that's going to be a string with a cap. Oh no, lowercase. Is loaded, object link, and then const show. Show boolean. There we go. Awesome. So we've got our function. We know this is going to run in here. So show create value equals true. Cool. Fetch. Of the change. All right, cool. What I want to do, add the value, append the value. And James. All right, cool. Let's feed the cat. Socks would love you a lot. What? All right, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna set up everything. There we go. We'll grab this and go down here. We'll put it down at sock level. I will get a cube a little bit higher. No, that doesn't work. Oh wait, yes it does. There we go. There we go, folks. You know what time it is. Should say damn right. Oh. You know what? Stay in your bed. Stay in your bed. All right. There we go. She does love her treats. She can tell there's one more. There we go. Alright, she is happy. Alright, thank you very much, James. Just getting back into this, what we've got to do is link list. I don't know if I can append. Oh, give me 2 seconds. JavaScript. And to array. Let's push. Oh, no. Ew. Prototype push. Yep, alright, cool. In which case, I don't need that if memory serves me correctly. And then we just go response.form data. Oh, I've got to wait for it. All right. Alright, now this needs to be async then. There we go. Alright. Everything's clearing up. Append the val. Alright, cool. So that should just append onto there. We're expecting those results. And yeah, we'll handle the errors when we handle the errors. Actually, this will be error text dot value equals error. That's it. It's pretty easy. That's how we're going to handle it for this particular thing. I should also go error text dot value equals nothing up here. We just clear out the prior error so it doesn't cause any confusion. I'm going to let the user still do stuff on the page. And like usual, when she gets her treats, she disappears. Yeah, so for example, let's say you're on a train or something like that and you don't have the best internet. You go try and, let's say, add another object to this. The internet connection fails. Now, that's not your fault. That happens. However, that being said, I don't want you having to reset the page, refresh the page or anything like that. I want to give you the shot to try again, in which case you just have to click that button again, the plus button again, and hopefully it'll add in. Yeah, I'm just hoping for that. That will also... Yeah, you don't want the error message to continue being there, so the instant they click add, you just disappear the error message. Try again. If you hit the same problem, error message just will re-show. If not, and it submits, great, everyone can move on. Alright, so that one's done. Now, the delete function, I'm also going to put the error message in here. Just because I think this is useful. The load data. I think this is going to be a good place. Cool. That's pretty much it. So, when I create... I'm going to put this on offline at the moment. That's doing nothing. All right. Cool. I have broken stuff. Absolutely and utterly broken stuff. Broken it beyond belief. Alright, not a problem. These things happen when you shuffle everything around and try and neaten everything up so it conjoins better. In this sort of case, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of some stuff in here. There we go, get rid of that. We are going to have a look at all the... Oh, you get to the left. We're just going to refresh. I'm going to hit delete, and we've got a problem. We've got this. All right. We're going to Google some stuff. All right, some click, and some click, and then we got like 42. All right. So I thought we were doing that. Yeah, we're in view 3. That's what we should be doing. So let's just go to the link object one. We've got the delete object. I'm going to be expressive here. Like so. It's going to hit refresh. I'm going to hit that delete button. Yeah, it's still passing through as object. It's not what we want. So, what I'm going to do, link object, I'm just going to go all the way up here. We're going to go down to the delete object. And we're just going to go console. Console log object assignment ID. All right, cool. Yeah, it's passing both through. And if we have a look at this, I mean, that's not a problem. Because what I can do up here is I can just put this into event, like that. And then I just type in event dot that. Event dot index. Event dot object ID. It's as simple as that. That's not going to be a problem. Let's hit refresh. Let's scroll down. Let's delete. Boom. Done. And delete. Boom. Gone. All right. Perfect. All right. I'm happy with that. That does mean that we got to also update the relationship, which we're only sending data up. All right, cool. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Cool. And everyone's happy with this. All right, add relationship. That needs now to be changed. So, ooh, we don't have the ability to. We've got a function called down here. Ooh. It sucks. Thank you, sucks. So I'm just having a think here. This we can keep down here. This is this section down here. But what happens if we get an error from the back end? We kind of want to notify the user, hey, we can't load this component in. There's been an error. We can have a local error text down here too, which we just check to make sure everything's okay. That would be the quickest way to do it. And then, yeah, I just have an error text and deal with it that way. Because if we have a look at the template, I keep scrolling the wrong way. Yeah, everything's just one step down. But there's only 2 components. Yeah, 2 components under there, so having 2 VFs are fine. Should be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. All right, cool. Let's do that. So where's our refs down here? We have a const error text equals ref, and then we're a string, and we got it as nothing at the moment. Then what we want up here. Error. Ooh. Error fetching potential object links. All right. So down here, what we're going to have is we're going to have error text equals t error text plus, oh, we need that little at the end. Notice how we got a colon and a space. We're going to do the same thing here. And then, actually, no, we don't. That's crazy. I can add that down here. All right? Like a sane person would. We'll do that, and then we just go error. That's just dealing with all of that. All right. So yeah, that will handle that error. So if there is a 500 from the back end, we can go, cool, yep, that'll just appear down there. We've then just got to add in the just those. All right, easy done. And then div class error, but we got to go vif error text does not equal that. And we just got error text in here. Now, there is a reason why I put error in here. We just go all the way down and we just go dot error. I'm just going to make the text. Sorry, it'll be color. We've got danger. Now these colors, I've got to redo all the colors and so forth like that. That's not going to happen just yet. That's going to happen just a little bit later once I get everything sort of done, and I then go through and pick a color palette. The idea also is we'll have light and dark picked out, and a bunch of other things too. And then we'll end up doing something with it. So yeah, it's just, I haven't had much time to think about color. I feel like it's going to be the very last thing to deal with. And famous last words, it shouldn't be too hard to actually do. Hopefully. But yeah, if there's an error, it'll appear down here. If we reload, there's no errors or anything like that. So I'm going to go into view. I'm going to put one in purposely. So we go project page, we go anonymous components, we go, welcome tabs, link object, we go down to add relationship, and in here we should have the error one somewhere in here. I'm still getting used to all of this setup. Error text. Let's edit that. Holy cow, Batman. Holy cow, Batman. Alright, cool. I'm happy with that. If we pick one and we hit plus, we're getting nothing. So we've got to fix that up right now. So if we're in here, someone clicks on create object link. We've got this. We've got that. We should be hitting this. And if we go into the link object and we go, we haven't hooked up the create object yet. That's why. So, easy done. We just scroll down here. This is fine. We've got a add relationship down here. That's all good. We'll then have the V on. This is create object link equals create object link. Now I'm just going to do that. We're going to refresh. We're going to pick something and we're just going to hit plus. Oh, we hit a bunch of errors. Cannot access property split. That's because now we've got to deal with our data up here. So, like before, what we want to do is we just go event. We open it as a pretend object like that, and then everything has a problem. We're like, sure. We just type event and event, and we're done. We just hit refresh. We scroll down. We add some stuff in. We hit the play, the plus. Boom, done. Now one spotty issue. I thought I had a little bit of space after the link object table. I guess I took it out. Give me a couple of seconds. We're just going to scroll down here. Then we're going to scroll down here. No, wrong one. Like this one. This is the brat one. All right. We've got link object table, which is I'm just going to put 2 REM at the bottom like that. That's perfectly fine. It's a big subtext. I'll probably move that down to a 2 or a 1. All right, that's part of subtext. Okay, it's not in here. Oh, it's not in any of the views. All right, where is it? We've got the style. Where else is subtext used? I'm just going to mask that to the view. And hello, Zach and friends. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. All right, looks like we are using it with that amount of margin in multiple places. I'm going to keep it for the moment. It's something I can change later. Alright, I'm going to delete that. That's perfectly fine. Then we add in another one, and then we can just change it to whatever it is. We can then change this to is blocking. We'll just pick something else. It's currently blocking. Alright. It's currently blocked by. It's currently blocking. We need to fix that up. It's not allowing you to follow. Oh, that's a bit weird. Hit refresh. Oh. All right, damn. I do. Yeah, it tends to be very buggy. I tell you what. All right. I can't force you to follow. Obvious reasons why. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they do. I honestly don't think they do. Definitely don't test it properly. There's been times where I've had the app open and chat has just stopped working. And this is when I had my just my laptop. It was annoying. All right, so we've got essentially the CRUD working again. I'm going to say all I gotta do is fix the relationships. Go up and switch. Yeah, same. So yeah, all I gotta do is fix up the relationships with this. I don't have the brain power tonight to actually do that. It's probably something I could try and tackle tomorrow. I've got a long drive. Well, I'm getting driven tomorrow, so I might try it in the car. Another thing that I've got to do is I've got to filter these out that aren't being used. However, that being said, I want to implement the multi-select soon. And then I'll port what I've done on Welk over into here for a specialized multi-select. Just because this drop-down is actually specialized, this here. And we don't want every single result in there. And sorry, it won't be a multi-select, it'll be a single select type of thing. And hi, Meta Landcar. I'm terrible with new names. Welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Alright. But this does mean we can now move on to documentation. I do want to actually label those as bugs so I don't, you know, lose track of them and then discover them later. Alright, issues. This would be... Oh, do I have to log in? Oh, I do have to log in. Alright. Oh, sorry, run. There we go. Sorry, guys, you got to see me for a second as I log in and definitely not show my password on stream again. Or type it out with the camera facing the keyboard. Alright, did I get that in time? I think I did. Yes, I did. Alright, let's get back into it. I'm just going to go new issue. This isn't for Welk. This will be for the NearBeach application. Or credit card. Oh, yes. Sorry. For some strange reason, I read your prior message and then that one, and I got stuck on the... Yeah, definitely don't want to accidentally give out my credit card. Haven't done that. Which is good. But boy, do I have a rant about my credit card, because my bank actually freaking changed my credit card on me. And then a week later decided to mail it out to me. Oh, they got a complaint for that. And they tried saying, no, we didn't do that. And I was like, I have the envelope here, and there's a date timestamp on it when it went through and got processed. Fucking idiots. Alright. Bugs. Yes. Alright, cool. Relationship. Not getting. And... Great name, Turbo Wank. Thank you very much for the follow and the chuckle. So, hello. I'm surprised they're allowing you to keep that name. I'm very immature. Let's not lie. About my bank too. Oh, I have more to complain about them also. They've just upped my the interest rate again for like the 5th time this year. It's just getting annoying at this point. Yeah. I'm just paying heaps in interest. And I'm like, no. Relationship not getting... No, that's not a good word. Let's write out... It's not the method. Alright, cool. Incorrect relationship showing shown in object links. So method 1, navigate to an open project. 2, add a new link to any object, but make it is currently blocking. Expected results. Card to appear with correct linking relationship. Actual results. Card appears with wrong linking relationship. Alright. I keep double clicking and then this is pretty major. I won't say critical, but it is pretty major. This is definitely a bug. This is definitely submitted. This is definitely going to be assigned to me. This is definitely part of the object links. This is definitely part of the 32 version. So 0.32 RC1. And I'm just going to create that. Awesome. Really don't know why you have that nickname. Oh, fair enough. I gotta switch if they're coming. I'm at that point where the mortgage is a little too low. It becomes really difficult. No other bank wants to pick it up. I've had my mortgage for a very long time, I should point out. So, yeah, that's why it's low. Only reason why it's low. Yours keeps lowering your interest on certain saving products for help to buy a home. Yeah, but other saving account they have way high. All right. The other one is, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this one. So these are the bugs. I'll come back. I hate when that happens. Let me open it. Now I've got to keep that open because there's a bug. All right. Oh, hang on. There you go. That's what I want. Perfect. Unwanted options within add relationship. All right, unwanted options. Unwanted options are the current object being in the list, existing link connections already in the list. All right, cool. Yep. And this one will be fixed at the same time. We'll add in a search function. The backend will handle the removal of unwanted objects and so forth like that. So, yeah. Where am I? This is clicking on that. Normal. This one I'm also going to go major. We need this one fixed. This is actually a very important part of NearBeach. And then what we want is object links. And then RC, just go RC1. All right, cool. We're going to create. All right. So those two bugs are in there. I'm happy with that. This is almost done. There's a few things that we need to come back to. We need to make sure that this drop down becomes a searchable sort of select. The idea being if someone will type in something, it'll actually pop up with a couple of examples. The user picks those examples, hit the plus button, and then runs with it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, yeah, they can add it in and everyone's happy with that. We're pretty much on to the documentation now. So the good news is, once again, we can sort of hijack the code we've already written in 0.31. We'll move a lot of that code from the controller into a service. Then we just get the API to point at the service. Now, if memory serves me correctly, we didn't do that as an API, hence it's in a controller. And it shouldn't be too hard to actually port over. Famous last words. But before we do that, I do need to exit out of this. I need to go git status. I'm just going to go git add, git commit, implementation of the creation of the object link. Yeah, alright, cool. I'm just not good at commit names sometimes. And all of this is getting smushed anyway. Yeah. Is U-Track free to use? We use Jira at our company. No. I don't know why I wrote YouTube. No, it isn't. I don't know the pricing and stuff like that because... okay, if you've got 1 to 10 users, it's free. Cool. I certainly fall in that. However... I think I also fall... I also fall on the open source license too, so it's free for me. Hence, you see in here, this is all NearBeach stuff and Welk, which are all open sourced. So yeah, last group project I did something as a commit. Yeah. I've got to get better. I really got to get better. I am going to smush this branch into develop, and it's going to freak out everyone. Everyone's going to hate it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I wrote all of the 0.32. So it is a hard cut off. I will admit that. Oops, I went to the wrong thing. I know VS Code has this new thing where it uses AI to come up with one. Okay. I mean, that could also be one thing which I could potentially use is I could stick it into LLM and be like, listen, I did this, this, and this. Can you come up with something? Especially when I'm tired and just can't come up with a short sentence. The other thing which I could potentially do is I could start using references back into NearBeach because I do actually track a lot of this within NearBeach. Give me 2 seconds. So I had to open up NearBeach itself. So I do actually have card numbers and stuff like that, which I should start linking to. And another thing which I should also do is I should hijack the develop branch. Because I'm no longer developing for 0.31. I'm releasing patches and all that kind of stuff for it. So if there's a library that needs to be updated and stuff like that, it will happen. It will get released. Those security fixes will be done. So yeah, I could take over the develop branch and then just use features. And then smush the features coming in. I think that would be a good idea, but I feel like at the moment I don't want to do that because it also means that if I do need to do some serious development on 0.31, I need to set up a separate branch. Yeah, and I'll royally screw myself if I accidentally merge in develop branch into main. Yeah, the feature branches are really, really good. I use them at work, my 9 to 5. And then I usually smush everything. So that way it looks like it's just one commit, and it gives me the ability to save at points and go, all right, cool, I'm going to commit this because this is getting better, this is where I want to go, I then need to do this later and so forth like that. And if I screw up later, I can go, whoop, git hard reset, but I reset to that save point. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's when I get this vertical slice done, and when I say get the vertical slice done, I mean just the projects, getting both the API done, getting all the unit tests done for the front end and back end, and starting to write up the documentation. I might hijack the develop branch and then start doing that, because I feel like once I got the base done of this, a lot of it will fall into place pretty quickly now. just because I've simplified the permissions, I've simplified everything, everything's generic now. I've only got to program the differences. So the instant project is done. It's copy and paste for tasks. It's almost copied and paste for requirements and requirement items. Kanban boards will be built from the ground up, but I will know what I want to do and how I'm handling the data. And a lot of the Kanban board stuff will be pulled from the prior code anyway. So, yeah. Beginning of project management, I'm kind of annoyed at our external client though, since they said they wanted me to email for them to get an internship there, and they go, I hate when that happens. That sucks. Anyway, I am going on a rant mode, but I think I finish. So if we go into NearBeach, and I'm going to finish up soon. I'm exhausted. Sorry, I've come off being ill. All right, I wanted to go into NearBeach. I wanted to go into views. This is the old code. This is 0.31 code. We've got the document view here. So a lot of this. So we've got an internal function. Yep, that's perfect. Connect. Check. Yep. All right. Cool. We've got the add folder. Yeah, a lot of this can be put into a service. Trying to remember something, but I've absolutely lost it in my head. They then had audacity to post the group project stuff on their LinkedIn, so of course after reposting, I love working on it. Yeah, that is very annoying. Alright, form, add link. Yeah, a lot of this will be copied and pasted into the services. I'm just wondering. Handle document permission. Yep, that'll be, yep. There'll be one big giant service, but that's perfectly fine. But I don't think I have the brain power at the moment to tackle that at all. Yeah. I think they gave me the wrong email, but still I got sent without any issues. Yeah. It is annoying when that happens. I can't think of anything apart from calling them up. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Yeah, sorry. Alright, anyway, sorry, I'm fading very, very fast. I just realized I was just staring at my code with not a single thought in my head then. We are going to raid. They don't have a number. Oh, damn. Either way, I got another interview at another company next week, so it's not the end of hopefully the interview goes well. That's awesome news. So, yeah. Alright, we are going to raid Togglebit. He is working in Rust and doing game development. Pretty awesome, chill dude. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here tonight. It has been wonderful. We got a lot done. Essentially, we're almost wrapping this little tiny component up. Not quite. It's the initial wrap. Yeah, cheers, Aiden. Enjoy your weekend. Sorry, my brain is turning itself off. So yeah, we might as well raid on through. I'll just turn this down. I'll turn him up. And yeah, thank you very much. And for those on Twitch, thank you very much for... on YouTube, thank you very much for being here. Sadly, you won't be able to join us with the raid, but don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help. Thank you very much.